Hello everybody and welcome to DarkslayerTV. My name is of course Darkslayer and we're playing StarCraft 2. Well, we're not exactly playing it. We're going to be casting some StarCraft 2. It's something that I've been really wanting to get back into, and this time I'm not going to take it as seriously. This time I want to do your guys' games, and I'm going to go post this on Reddit and stuff and see if I can't get some games of people that want their games casted, and just have some fun with it. Because my inspiration for StarCraft has really come back with Legacy of the Void. And I actually didn't have a game that anyone wanted casted to start things off. In fact, I'm doing this kind of on a whim, just for fun. But I hope it continues. I hope I get some games. So this is going to be me, the Protoss, versus Stewpadaso, a friend and cousin of mine who is about the same skill level. So this ended up being a really fun game. It's on... oh no, what is the name of this map? You know? I don't actually remember the name of this map. It's like something Terrasis? I actually don't remember. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this game. Over here on the bottom right, as the yellow Protoss, we have the one and only me. And up here, to the top left of whatever this map is, we have the one and only green Terran, Stewpadaso. So what has happened while I've been yabbering on and on? I went for a gateway first into a 17 Nexus into the Cybernetics core. I really enjoy this build because it gets that early Nexus down, and we can still get out a Adept in time to try to do damage. It doesn't always work. It really depends on what the Terran is going for. And in this case, Stewpadaso taking the little bit later of a command center compared to my very early Nexus, which I think I get the SCV here. Yes, I do, which is going to delay that a little bit, but compared to that early Nexus, that little bit later of one is going to allow him to have that Reaper up way faster than I get my Adept up. So what's going to happen here is that Reaper is going to show up in my base by the time the Adept even finishes building. See, we still got another 10 or 15 seconds so before that thing even comes out, and the Reaper is already making its way here. And I never realized how much damage this did. That SCV almost killed that pylon. Holy crap. But anyways, we're going to try to get that Adept over here. The Reaper's not going to do too much damage. He's going to come in, scout a little bit, see that I threw down a couple more gateways, and maybe hide over here and make its way back in a little bit to try to take out some of these probes. But as for right now, it's not going to be able to do much. The Adept's staying here, not really moving out, doesn't want to risk going across the map and having that Reaper go in and kill more probes. Stewpadaso here, going to go ahead and throw down a couple extra barracks here, get that factory down. And I would imagine he's probably going to go into a starport into drops. This map is actually really good for drops, because as you can see all of this dead space to the top of my base, we come back down here to the bottom of the base, to the left side. You can go from the third right here over to the main really quickly, which that's actually not the third. That could be considered the fifth. I'm way off. Third's up here. Don't listen to me. But anyways, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see drops on this map. Two Reapers sitting over here outside the main base. Not getting much action. In fact, actually going to start making their way back across the map here. As an Adept apparently did get in. I completely forgot about this, with 4 kills already. So getting quite a few kills off on those SCVs. Even going to stop some production here on the engineering bay. Maybe even get another one before this Adept goes down, which isn't good. He is trying to get in there and get that SCV, but it was behind, so he was unable to target it. Reapers do come back, but miss the Adept as they weren't on the attack command, but instead were on the move. And before it could teleport, the Adept does go down. So no more coming out of that guy. Darkslayer now going for a pretty basic composition so far. We can see 3 gateways that aren't quite warp gates yet, even though that has finished. And he hasn't really teched into anything specific yet. Whereas Stewpadaso, once again, going for a very general Terran build in Legacy of the Void, getting those siege tanks out and preparing to attack. However, I have to say, The addition of siege tanks in PvT is an interesting one. It's one that I definitely didn't expect to see in Legacy of the Void, but with the addition of the Disruptor, the amount of stalkers that the Protoss player gets makes the siege tank a lot more viable. Used to, you had a lot of zealots that would run in with charge and do a lot of damage, and the problem came from the siege tanks AoEing your own marines. However, now with the range of the stalkers mixed in with the Disruptor, and no zealots, you can actually get those siege tanks out and not have to worry about AoEing your own units too much. And a little bit of a poke from our Protoss player, but doesn't really get anything done, especially with the addition of that siege tank. He's just going to go ahead and come on home. The Reapers getting a few kills. Between them, they have 6 kills. These Reapers have actually been doing a fantastic job, and Stewpadaso doing a really good job keeping them alive as well. Protoss has went ahead and got that Twilight Council. Hasn't started researching anything out of it yet, but versus a Terran player, I would not be surprised to see him go for that blink before the Resonating Glaives, which of course increases the attack speed of those adepts just a little bit more. However, as a Protoss player, I know that you want to get a lot more Stalkers out earlier in the game than you used to when you're fighting a Terran player. Those blinks really help, and you can deal with a lot of the silly shenanigans like drops, any liberators, anything crazy the Terran throws your way. So both players are posturing to take a third here. The Protoss player does have his down, and the Terran just doing some basic macro. Doesn't really have the force to go and push, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that third come down any moment. We do have the +1 weapons, but we are missing the armor. Oh, wow! That adept killed that SCV, and it never went back to finish that. That's kind of unfortunate. So, Protoss is posturing up to go and attack the Zerg player over here, and that was Skype. That was mine. Don't go check yours. I promise it was mine. I know the feeling. But anyways, let's see if this Protoss can do anything. He's actually scouting and sees a lack of a third. And he's going to use that adept ability to phase up here and see what he can see. I doubt he'll let that finish. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I doubt he'll let that finish, which he does not. It was just for the scouting purposes, which, by the way, as a Protoss player, I have to tell you, that has got to be one of my favorite additions of the adept, is the ability to phase up those ramps and see what's going on and not really have to risk anything. So we finally have Combat Shield finishing up, and that Engineering Bay is still just sitting there, and that +2 hasn't started either, because the Terran player does not have an armory yet. He's really letting that slip, and as I said, that third is finishing up now, so we're going to be seeing that from our Terran player. So Terran moving across the map right now, but I don't know if that's a good idea. This is a pretty sizable Protoss force. It is going to be able to defend quite easily. In fact, there might be a little bit of a scrape right here, potentially going for that medevac, but no, the boost will save it. And the Protoss is actually going to chase. Oh, but he scans and decides to back off there, decided it really wasn't worth it. And Protoss moving up to 4 bases, and this third is still not down for the Terran player. If this game keeps going the way it is, the macro is just going to get out of hand for the Protoss, and the Terran isn't going to be able to keep up much longer, especially since if we look here, 1-1 is going to finish up here for the Protoss, which I feel like is a little late. I could be wrong, but it feels late. I don't know. I'm judging myself at this point. I think that's late. I'd like to get that a little bit earlier. And here we go. Are we going to have an engagement? We do have a stim coming in, moving over to the right side, and the Liberator does go ahead and stand. And going to come back and go ahead and take care of this pylon, but with that Liberator zone down, I don't know if the Protoss player does want to directly engage into that. It wouldn't really be a good idea. A good idea right now might even be a drop from the Terran player to pull that Protoss army back, because this clump is not going to do very well versus a Protoss force, especially with that Guardian Shield going up. That Liberator zone is not down. It's just sitting there and does go down before it does anything. And now we do have the medevacs flying away, but a blink forward, the Stalkers are going to start focusing down that medevac, and he does go down. So a significant hit there to our Terran player, who just now has his third down, and no SCVs quite on it yet. Liberator zones are up, which is going to make this hard to engage into with those 2 siege tanks also supporting that 1 Liberator. But it's going to be hard to attack into, but our Protoss player may be able to do it. But I feel like the Protoss player could lose this entire ball right here with the economy that he has and be fine. And oh, a blink forward into that massive Terran ball. I don't know that was a good idea just to try to snipe that Liberator. Oh man, he does pull back, and a scan does reveal that there is also a warp prism there, kind of nullifying any chance of a drop. I imagine that the Terran is going to prepare for that potential. Oh, and we do have 2 dropships now moving out for our Terran player to try to attack the main base while the main army ball of the Protoss player is sitting outside in the middle of the map, basically nowhere near where it needs to be if it wants to defend against this. Also, I would just like to point out, this is finally done. I noticed this a little bit earlier. It's finally done. It only took half the game, but it's done, and that's all that matters. And here we go. Protoss is trying to take their 5th base, and I'm sure it's going to be scouted here. It is, and a stim in, and it's actually going to go down. No, doesn't get the cancel. So there goes 400 minerals from our Protoss player, and instantly a warp into the main, but there's already some stalkers there. Oh, and a full medevac goes down. That poor, unfortunate medevac does go down, and he does pick up to try to leave. He should have stayed there. It doesn't have the HP, but it gets away. Oh my gosh. That final blink, I would have told you 1,000 times over that medevac was going to go down. But it did get away. Our Protoss army now posturing to attack here. And our Terran player does smell the blood in the air and gives a final scan to make sure. Continuing to posture in a defensive stance, those Liberator zones in position to stop anything that Protoss is going to be sending at the front. Even got some Widow Mines in the back. I just noticed those. Those would be really good. So I would imagine that is the response to the warp prism, but no, that scan and the observer goes down. So now the Protoss, let's check. Yes, the Protoss is without an observer. He's going to be unable to kill that Widow Mine. He does send a Stalker up here and tries to blink away right before it goes off, but it doesn't quite work. It sacrifices the Stalker, so it takes the hit. We have our Disruptors now in a posturing position to try to get some shots off. And that Widow Mine's going to come back up if he doesn't hurry. It'd be the waste of a Stalker, but ooh, he's going up close. These Disruptor shots, and there they go. The Disruptor shots do go for the siege tank, but blow before they can get there. Waste of the Disruptor shots. Not really getting anything done. Our Protoss player is nearing 3-3. They're about halfway through completion, where our Terran is only sitting on 1-1. An engagement right now would be really unfortunate. We do have the Observer making its way over now, so we are going to be able to deal with those Widow Mines, which is good. Let's take a look here. We still have just a ton of Marauders coming out right now, a huge wave actually, which is sort of a good choice. They're going to absorb that Disruptor shot a little bit better than Marines would, and with a heavy Stalker force like this, it's a good choice. The Immortals are going to do a lot of damage though, but with the addition of a few Marines, this composition's starting to look scary. The Liberator zones are piling on top of each other, and oh, what is this? It looks like our Terran player might be going for a flank. That or he's trying to sneak around. I'm not sure. Oh, but it looks like it's going to be a flank, and the stim forward, and the Protoss player, he's trying to warp out, but the Mothership Core goes down. This is going to be brutal. Oh, but the Disruptor shots, oh, taking out tons and tons of units, but the Disruptors are going up close now. Oh, losing 1 Disruptor, 2 Disruptors, and blinking away, just barely losing that fight. This was a fantastic play by the Terran player. With the upgrade disadvantage, being able to take a fight like that was absolutely necessary to bring him back into this game, and with a supply lead of almost 25, he definitely secured his position. In fact, the Protoss player is in a bit of a shitty spot unless that Terran decides to wait. That Terran could move across the map right now and cause lots of problems, and oh my god, I remember this Marauder. You see this Marauder? I tried to expand so many times, but no, I freaking didn't kill this Marauder because I was too busy up here. But anyways, we're going in for a second engagement. That Disruptor ball does go in and takes out a huge portion of the army. Oh my god, but the upgrade advantage is in the Protoss' favor, making it almost seem invulnerable, but the Liberator zones are going down, and they're going to start shooting off onto those Stalkers. 1 Stalker goes down, and an Immortal, and it's not looking good for the Protoss player. We do have a huge warping of Stalkers. However, a pure Stalker force is not going to be able to do very good versus a Bio Ball and 2 Liberators. But fortunately, the Bio Ball has shrunken quite substantially, so our Protoss player isn't quite out of it yet. However, this drop could do a lot of damage right here. It's mainly Marauders, and Marauders can do a lot of damage two Protoss structures very quickly. He does see those stalkers and decides to head out. And there we go. The what is that called? Afterburners forward. He leaves a couple down there to attack that base and is going to start dropping into the main. No! Where is the drop? He's not dropping. He's just leaving them there. He needs to drop the units now as the Stalker Force starts making its way across the map over to where this drop is and blinks right on up. Oh, wait. Hold on. I knew the future. I'm so sorry. I might have played this game already. But anyways, the Stalkers are now moving forward and they're going to start trying to snipe down these medevacs. The medevacs do start to get away. They're going to head over here to the natural or that void zone I was telling you about. But they're not quite far enough yet. And another medevac does go down, but it was empty. So not a lot being lost there. Our Terran player trying his best to get some more forces back up. And a huge clump of ghosts here. And fortunately, since I know the future, I remember that I left a disruptor up here. And watch this. Oh! Oh! God! Oh! Ooh, so many ghosts did go down right there. And the drop did happen while that was going on. I'm so sorry that you missed the drop. Probes died, and then the Stalkers came to rescue them. Oh my god, that was really unfortunate. Just, oh my god, the ghosts right there. The damage was real. So the Terran is posturing to take the 4th and the 5th, both actually already down. This has 28 workers at it. That's kind of crazy. The oversaturation is real. But the Protoss player does look like he's finally moving out to attack once again, but he only has 1 disruptor. Oh, 2, my apologies. But the Terran force is quite small, and I have to feel as if though it was because of the small economic gain, but it doesn't matter. We did get a couple of EMPs off, and the disruptor balls do go in, but it looks like the overwhelming Protoss force is going to take out the Terran forces, and that is it. GG! I have a button for that. And just like that, Protoss takes the game. So if you enjoyed my casting, please subscribe and send me your replays. I have an email set up. I'll leave it in the description. It is DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com. That is DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com. If you would like me to cast your games, 1v1, I didn't mean to do that. 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, it doesn't matter. I'm just wanting to cast some games, and I would love to get a hold of some people's games and cast them for you and improve as a caster, period. Get a little bit more analytical, a little less just telling you what's going on, and just become a better caster, period, as I said. So send those replays to DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys next time.